Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news. So Ravens fans, you might want to buckle up because there's some seriously intriguing buzz swirling around the upcoming roster moves, and one of the most talked about rumors involves Vita V. Yeah, you heard that right, Vita V, the beast from Tampa Bay Buccaneers, could be making his way to Baltimore. Now I know what you're thinking, rumors, right? But this one has some meat behind it, with sources close to the situation indicating that Baltimore is eyeing a trade that could reshape their defensive front and give them a major boost for the postseason and beyond. Let's start by unpacking what this trade would look like and why it's such a game-changer. According to insiders, the Ravens are in negotiations to acquire Vita V in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft. Yeah, a future first-rounder. That's a significant price, but when you consider what V brings to the table, especially in the trenches, it might be well worth it. The Ravens, coming off a solid 2023 campaign, but looking to solidify their defense as a true championship contender, see V as that missing piece to dominate opposing rushing attacks and create chaos for offenses. Deep dive into Vita V's profile and impact. V, at 31 years old, has been a disruptive force for Tampa Bay, especially in the interior of the defensive line. His size, strength, and agility make him a matchup nightmare for offensive lines. Standing at 6'4" and weighing around 347 pounds, V combines brute strength with surprising quickness, which allows him to penetrate gaps and collapse pockets. In 2025, he tallied 8 sacks, which is impressive for a nose tackle, ranking him 6th among interior defenders. He also racked up 48 tackles, with 32 of those being solo stops, along with 15 tackles for loss and 60 pressures, good for 4th in the league. His overall PFF grade last year was an outstanding 88.9, placing him in the top tier among interior linemen. His run defense grade was a stellar 90.2, second best in the league, and his win rate at 19% puts him among the top 5 interior defenders in the NFL. When analyzing V's style of play, it's evident that he excels in multiple facets. His ability to occupy multiple blockers is his hallmark, allowing linebackers and edge rushers to exploit one-on-one opportunities. His anchor against double teams is legendary, and his lateral agility lets him make plays in the backfield. For example, in 2025, he was responsible for numerous game-changing plays, including key sacks and tackles for loss that swung the momentum in Tampa Bay's favor. His impact isn't just in individual stats, it's in how he alters the entire offensive game plan for opponents, forcing adjustments that open up opportunities elsewhere. Career highlights and statistical overview. Looking at his career stats, V has accumulated over 50 sacks and 300 tackles, with a career PFF interior grade of 86.5. He's not just a pass rusher, but a dominant run stopper. In 2024, he recorded 6.5 sacks, bolstering his reputation as a dual-threat interior lineman. Despite some injury issues in 2025 that limited him to just 2 games, his impact when healthy is undeniable. His EPA per snap is plus 0.13, which shows he's consistently disruptive on the field. Comparatively, he echoes the profile of Ndamukong Suh, with a career total of 64 sacks, but V is more of a true run stopper, with 42 stops in 2025 alone. His durability has been a talking point, but recent years suggest he's managed to stay relatively healthy, especially considering the physical toll of playing inside. His injury history includes minor issues like ankle sprains and knee soreness, but nothing that significantly hampers his ability to perform at an elite level. This resilience makes him an attractive target for the Ravens, who are always looking for dependable, high-impact players to anchor their defense. The Buccaneers' perspective. Rebuilding and cap strategies now, let's talk about the Buccaneers' perspective. Tampa's cap situation isn't ideal, with over $20 million in dead cap space projected for 2026. And after finishing 8-9 without making the playoffs in 2025, they're clearly in rebuild mode. Their defense struggled, giving up 25 points per game, and they need cap room to extend the contracts of players like Mayfield. Moving V, who they'd free up around $25 million in cap space, makes sense from their side as they look to rebuild with a younger core. The Bucs are also facing questions about their aging defensive line, with some analysts skeptical about their ability to sustain their run defense, which saw a decline of about 12%, and their pressures allowed rising to 130 yards per game in a defense that's clearly trying to reset. The Tampa Bay front office has been candid about their intentions to rebuild with an eye toward future flexibility. Trading a player of V's caliber is part of that strategy, especially since they're also looking to draft younger talent and develop a more dynamic, versatile defense. Their recent draft picks have been focused on speed and athleticism to complement their existing core, but V's departure would be a significant shift in their defensive identity. Still, the trade makes sense financially and strategically for Tampa, especially when considering the salary cap implications and their need to develop a younger defensive line. How V fits into the Ravens' defensive scheme for the Ravens. Acquiring V to V would be a seismic upgrade. Currently ranked 13th in run yards allowed at around 900 yards, adding a disruptive force like V could elevate their run defense to a whole new level. We're talking about adding roughly plus 12 tackles for loss and a 22% increase in stops, which would significantly improve their ability to shut down the run game. His PFF grade could jump from an already respectable 82 to an elite 90, and that kind of upgrade could be transformative for Baltimore's defense, especially in matchup scenarios against teams with strong rushing attacks like Cleveland or Pittsburgh. Imagine V lining up next to a player like Broderick Washington or even a guy like Calais Campbell if he stays around, creating chaos in the middle and forcing offenses to double-team him, opening up opportunities on the edges for players like Odafe Oye or David Ajabo. His presence would also help reduce the number of rushing yards allowed per game, bringing that number closer to 160 or even below. The impact on turnovers and red zone defense could be just as significant, especially considering his knack for forcing fumbles and collapsing pockets, similar to what Aaron Donald did during his peak. His ability to command double teams is key here, as it frees up linebackers like Patrick Queen or Joshua Bynes to make plays in space. V's presence would also improve third down efficiency, forcing more third and long situations that favor Baltimore's aggressive pass rush. His impact on the defensive front could also improve the Ravens' ability to generate turnovers, a critical element for playoff success. Deep analytical perspective. From a deeper analytical perspective, V's addition could significantly shift the Ravens' defensive efficiency metrics. For example, the team's current expected points added, EPA, allowed per rush is around 18, but with V clogging running lanes and collapsing pockets, that figure could improve to approximately 30, which would make Baltimore one of the league's top defenses against the run. Furthermore, V's pressure rate, about 15% in 2025, indicates his propensity to get to the quarterback, and with improved scheme fit and coaching, this could elevate even further, possibly into the 18-20% range. His ability to generate interior pressures is vital against mobile quarterbacks, which is increasingly important in today's NFL, where players like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes rely heavily on escaping pressure and extending plays. Adding V also complements Baltimore's existing defensive schemes. The Ravens have traditionally employed a 3-4 base, but have been flexible in their front, often using stunts and blitz packages to confuse offenses. V's versatility allows him to play both nose tackle and defensive end in sub-packages, giving coordinator Mike McDonald more options to attack opponents' protections. His ability to occupy multiple blockers helps free up linebackers to pursue the ball carrier, boosting the overall team speed and tackling efficiency. Future implications and expectations looking ahead. The potential acquisition of V not only boosts Baltimore's immediate playoff chances, but could also set the foundation for sustained dominance. The Ravens have been building a defense that emphasizes speed, physicality, and versatility, and V fits perfectly into that mold. His presence would allow Baltimore to deploy more exotic blitz packages, knowing they have a reliable interior anchor to hold the line. In terms of future expectations, V's contract status is an important consideration. While he's under contract through 2027, the Ravens could look to extend him if he performs at an elite level, creating a long-term partnership. An extension could be negotiated based on his performance, possibly in the range of $17.20 million annually, which would be a worthwhile investment given his impact. From a broader perspective, should Baltimore secure V, they would become a formidable contender in the AFC, particularly with their potent offense led by Lamar Jackson, who remains a dynamic dual-threat quarterback. The addition of a disruptive interior lineman would balance their team, making them not just an offensive threat, but an ironclad defensive unit capable of shutting down high-powered offenses. The impact on AFC North and league-wide power dynamics. This potential move also has ripple effects across the AFC North, a division known for its physicality and rivalry battles. If Baltimore manages to acquire V, they could dominate divisional matchups, especially against the Steelers and Browns, whose running games are among the best in the league. The Browns, with Nick Chubb and a physical offensive line, and Pittsburgh with their strong offensive line and emerging passing game, would face a much tougher challenge. Furthermore, such a move signals to the entire league that Baltimore is serious about competing at the highest level. It sets a precedent that the Ravens are willing to make bold moves to secure championships. The AFC as a whole would take notice, especially teams like Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Buffalo, who are also vying for Super Bowl titles. The league's landscape could shift significantly if Baltimore's defense becomes an unstoppable force with V's addition, making the Ravens a perennial playoff favorite. Final reflection and call to action. So, Ravens fans, keep an eye on this story because if it comes to fruition, it'll be a game changer. A dominant interior presence like Vita V could be the piece that finally pushes Baltimore over the top, making them a nightmare for offenses and a true contender in the AFC. The defense would be transformed, and with Lamar Jackson leading the offense, the sky's the limit. It's the kind of move that could redefine this franchise's future, and honestly, I couldn't be more excited about what's to come. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think bringing Vita V to Baltimore would be the right call? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Ravens. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Baltimore Ravens news. This is the kind of move that could define a season, and I'm here to keep you in the loop every step of the way. Let's go Ravens. Character count 10-0-15.